Welcome to Trivia Tangents, the podcast where we turn everyday passions into surprising trivia deep dives. I'm your host, Lena, and each week I quiz a friend on something they know way too much about, turning everyday passions into trivia gold. We all know that on trivia night, the bigger the team, the better you'll play. So that's why I bring the team together here on Trivia Tangents. Today's guest is Kyla, who's here to talk all about matcha. So get ready for some fun facts you'll definitely want for your next trivia night. Hi, Kyla. How are you? Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, I'm good. How are you? It's been so long since we last chatted.
Oh my gosh, I know. I'm good. And I know I said before this episode, I was like, it's too late in the day to have a matcha, but here I am with a matcha I
Yes,
made.
I love that for you.
Just know, you guys, I might be sipping on this throughout the episode. But yeah, it's been so long since we caught up. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you. I'm so excited to be here and talk
Yeah.
about all things matcha.
Yeah, I'm so excited too. So, to give the listeners a little bit of background on my good friend Kyla, she lives in the Bay Area, just like me, and she makes a lot of TikTok content on food vlogging and beauty reviews, and she's probably the next big influencer. So, I'm so excited to have her on the podcast today.
Fingers crossed that I'm
Yes.
the next big influencer.
Yes, girl. We manifest that. And honestly, like us like collabing here, like we're gonna make it happen.
It's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning. So we met initially through work. We don't have to say what company, but that was probably like 3 years ago now.
That's
And
crazy.
I
Yeah, I think
know.
so.
Yeah. We've always been on the same team, and honestly, Kyla, you've been such a pleasure to work with, and we've always had so much
Oh,
fun on our in-office days, um,
yes.
especially the Trader Joe's Club.
Oh, those were my favorite days ever. And like all the snacks. Okay, I feel like you made those events so poppin'. So kudos to you.
Oh my God, yeah, at one point I was the Trader Joe's Club leader,
Lead.
president,
Yeah, lead.
like lead, like I was always at Trader
Host.
Joe's. But yeah, that was fun. Maybe we could do an episode topic on that.
I love Trader Joe's.
Yeah, don't we all? But today we are talking our shared obsession, matcha.
Matcha.
Kyla makes matcha lattes at home and makes the most amazing content sharing her recipes. So today we have three sections. One, the history of matcha. Two, ceremonial matcha and Uji, Japan. And three, the modern matcha craze. Are you ready for question one?
Yes. I'm nervous, but yes.
Don't be nervous. It's multiple choice. Let's do it.
Oh, okay, great. I got this.
Yeah, you got this. Just a process of elimination.
Okay, yes, I'm ready.
Section 1, the history of matcha. Trivia question 1. Which country is credited with the first cultivating and drinking matcha in its earliest form? A, China, B, Japan, C, Korea, or D, Thailand?
Okay, I'm actually pretty sure it's A, but I think a lot of people would think B. So let me know if that's right.
You're right. Good job.
Yes.
Good job. Good job, Kyla. You know your stuff. And in the episode, like, edit, you'll hear the little
Oh, I like that. Like
yeah, the right
a
answer
bell.
thing. Yes. So you're right.
Yes.
Although matcha is most closely associated with Japan today, the practice of powdered green tea was first developed in China during the Tang Dynasty, which was 618 to 907 AD.
618 is crazy. Wait, are we allowed to cuss or no?
Oh, yes, of
Okay,
course.
just making sure.
Oh yeah, we're allowed to cuss. This is a safe space.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So the method of grinding tea leaves into a powder and whisking it into hot water was then brought to Japan by the Buddhist monk Eisai. Eisai? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Apologies. But this happened in the late 12th century. So in Japan, matcha evolved into a ceremonial drink and became deeply embedded into the culture through the Japanese tea ceremony. And I feel like you kind of already knew that, but I was just giving a little bit of background to our listeners. So Kyla, I would love to learn a little bit more about your matcha journey. So when did you first try matcha, if you can remember? Or when did you start making matcha at home?
Okay, I feel like I first tried matcha back in college. I don't remember what shop or cafe, but I'm pretty sure it was like probably a boba shop. And then I started making it at home in 2021 when I started working remotely.
Okay, same. I feel like the first time I saw it, like outside of my own home, was in like a boba shop. Because yeah,
Right.
my mom has been drinking matcha for like 20 years now. So I've kind of always known about
Wow.
it. Yeah, because she's drinking it at home. But yeah, the tea shops these days are just going all out with the flavors. And I know that you have made some pretty awesome drinks from home. So what do you think is your favorite flavor to complement the matcha? Is it, I've seen stuff like lavender, rose, honey, strawberry. What's your favorite?
Yeah. Okay, so at home, I feel like I do either vanilla or I love doing like maple and sea salt. That's like so good to me. But if I go out to a cafe and they have a strawberry matcha on the menu, I'm 100% getting that.
Oh my God. Yes. I am such a strawberry matcha kind of girl too. And I know we'll talk
Yes.
about this later, but like the first time I tried it, boba guys, so freaking good.
Yes, so good. And their boba is really good too.
Yes, it is. So just, kind of tying up this little section here
Mhm.
about the history of matcha itself. In your professional matcha opinion, do you think that the historical roots of matcha kind of add to its allure in the modern day?
I think definitely because, as you mentioned, the monks incorporated it back like years ago, and I know they incorporated it into like meditation. And I think nowadays, I don't know if people are necessarily using it like within meditation, but I know that people like matcha because it gives them a steady flow of energy as opposed to like a double espresso shot. I know for me, if I drink coffee, some days my heart is like racing. So
Mm-hmm.
I much prefer matcha. I feel like it's like calming in a way, but gives me a good boost of energy. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like I can take on the day with this little
Yeah.
iced matcha in my hand.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I totally get what you mean. Like, it kind of has that sort of delayed release of
Yes.
of the caffeine, which is like reminding me of like delayed release Adderall for some reason.
Like the yeah, like medicine and stuff.
Yeah, literally. So it kind of gives you like you said, like that steady flow instead of that like insane burst of energy that you can get from coffee.
Right.
Which is what I had this morning. So oh my gosh, speaking of, what did you drink today? Like did you have a matcha? Did you have a coffee? What was your vibe today?
I didn't drink anything today. I really wanted to have a matcha in the morning, but then it just didn't work out. Like,
What,
cause so
Kyla?
so okay, let me explain. So basically, I'm like pretty caffeine sensitive, so I try
Mm.
not to have caffeine past like 1 or 2 p.m. or else I will not sleep. So then I wanted a matcha, but then I put in a grocery like delivery order and it didn't come in time because I wanted to use like the creamer that I
Yeah.
was ordering. So then by the time it came, it was too late, and I was like, okay, I can't have any caffeine right now.
Oh, what a bummer because, we're talking about matcha today.
I
But
know.
yeah, we'll see some of your pictures of your best at-home matchas.
Yes.
Yeah. So we just touched on the historical roots of matcha itself. So I kind of want to move forward into the ceremonial matcha and Uji Japan, which I think is super fitting because
Exciting.
you and I are both going to Japan.
Yes, I cannot wait to step
Yes,
foot.
I'm so excited. So let's take it away to section two. Section two, ceremonial matcha and Uji Japan. Are you ready for trivia question two?
Yes.
Okay. Uji, Japan is considered the birthplace of Japan's highest quality matcha. When did matcha cultivation begin in Uji? A. 600 AD. B. 1191 AD. C. 1587 AD. Or D. 1800 AD.
Wait, did you mention this earlier? Because if you did, then I think A. But if you didn't mention it, then I don't know.
I definitely did not. I don't think I mentioned it, but is A your answer?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with A.
Okay. Unfortunately, you're wrong.
Dang, okay.
But I feel like the six, I think you were thinking of like the six because it was the late 16th century, which is actually
Oh,
1587 AD. Because, like, you know how it's so annoying how
yes.
we talk about years, the year, like,
No, I know what you're trying to say because I didn't know that for a long time until like my last year of high school, and I was like, oh my God, this whole entire time.
yeah, like, okay,
I
here's
had
a
the
good one.
years messed up.
Here's a good one. Like, the 1900s, people refer
Mhm.
to as the 20th century.
Yeah,
And then
and
the,
that's crazy.
and that just, like, doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't make
Little,
sense.
that's a little tangent, but here we are in trivia tangents. So like that you get what
Very fitting.
you get what you clicked on. So,
Yes.
yeah, the answer was 1587. So let me give you a little bit of background into that and then I have some discussion
Yes.
topics. So, the answer was 1587 AD. Here's a little deep dive for you guys about that. Uji, located just south of Kyoto, has been producing Japan's finest matcha since the late 16th century, which was the 1500s, as we previously discussed. The story is in 1587, the shogun, Toyotomi, wait, I pronounced that wrong. The shogun, let me try again. The shogun, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, hosted a grand tea ceremony in Uji, cementing its reputation as the premier region for ceremonial grade matcha.
Period.
Yes, period. So, the area's climate and nutrient rich soil in Uji produce some of the world's best matcha. It's known for its bright green hue and smooth umami forward taste. So, let's talk about the climate and the tea cultivation. Within Uji's geographic location, with its river basins and surrounding mountains, it creates a sort of quote unquote river fog and a sort of mountain mist, which is ideal for tea cultivation and specifically the flavor profile. So that kind of got me thinking, like, I wonder if San Francisco would be a good place to grow matcha since we have Carl the Fog. What do you think?
That would be so cool.
I feel like that would be cool, like a SF branded, cultivated matcha.
Yes. I was gonna say your next business venture.
Dude, yeah, no, first I need this podcast to take off. Um,
Yes.
so, Uji tea from the Wazuka region is also known for its mist fragrance due to the fog, which allows the tea to be particularly fragrant and flavorful. And then also, tea cultivation. Uji farmers have developed this sort of method that's called the overlaid cultivation method. This involves covering tea fields with reed mats to inhibit photosynthesis and create a sweeter, more flavorful tea. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Since we're talking about ceremonial grade matcha, Kyla, do you know how to tell if a matcha is ceremonial grade? And it's totally okay if not.
Okay, I think I only know one like characteristic, which is color. So, and I think you mentioned that earlier too. So I know that if it's ceremonial, it's supposed to be very vibrant. And then I've seen matchas that aren't ceremonial that are more muted and almost like a yellowish green, to be honest. So that's usually how I can tell, but I'm sure there are other characteristics.
Yeah. Yep, you're spot on. The color, that's number one. And that's the thing that my mom always looks for too. Because she's a self-proclaimed matcha expert.
Yes.
She looks for color, that vibrant electric green, not dull or yellowish. Four other characteristics here. Texture. So it should feel like sort of ultra fine powder. Kind of like chalk. Like ground up chalk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. For those gymnasts, if you were a previous gymnast or if you're a rock climber, you know what I'm talking about. Like the sort of powdered chalk. And then taste. So smooth, slightly sweet. Only a little bit of bitterness, not a lot. If it's too bitter, it might not be ceremonial grade. And then also origin. So often the label will say ceremonial or it's sourced from a reputable region like Uji in Kyoto. And then lastly, price and packaging. Higher quality matcha typically costs more, as you know, we probably all know, and it is sold in airtight light blocking containers.
Yes.
Yes. So I know I told you guys I'm drinking matcha, and I wanted to I'll show you, Kyla, what I'm drinking. I brought the bag.
Ooh.
It's called Taste of Kyoto, and it's labeled Reserve Matcha. Guess how much this bag cost? It is 8.8 ounces, so 250 grams. You want to guess how much this cost?
I want to say like 58.
Girl,
More.
that is way too low.
Oh my God. Okay. 85.
Nope, higher.
Okay, 125.
Yeah, it was basically like 119, 120.
That's crazy. Well, it's a big ass bag, so
Yeah.
that makes sense.
It's supposed to last me like a pretty long time. It's been like 2 months now with this bag. So, and yeah, and like I don't think it expires for a while. So I think I'm good. But
And you ordered it online or
Yeah.
did someone like bring it back?
I got it off of Amazon.
Amazon? I didn't know they had
Yeah.
matcha that big.
Dude, I mean it's a private
What?
it's like a private seller, obviously. They just like also list it on Amazon. So yeah, I can send you the link if you want, and maybe I'll send
Yes.
them this episode and they can promote it.
Give us a code.
Yeah, give us a code. I will be you can be one of my first sponsors. But anyway,
Yes.
getting back on track here, Kyla, I know that you're going to Japan soon.
Yes.
I hope that you are able to make it to Uji, and if so, what are you most excited to experience in Uji or Kyoto?
Yeah, so I saw that there was a matcha grinding workshop at a museum. So that's like the top of my itinerary list if I go. And then, of course, obviously, like cafe hopping and then getting some tins to take home.
Yeah, oh my God, the tins. Dude, the tins, because you have to like store this matcha in airtight light blocking containers.
Tins. Yeah.
Because the oxygen and sunlight can deteriorate the matcha because it's so fragile. So like,
Oh my God.
where do you get your tins? Because I had to get mine on Etsy and like wait for it to ship.
Okay, I don't know if this is like not good. Well, I think it's fine. So basically, I've had a tin from a previous matcha, and I just keep reusing that one tin. So
Yeah.
I finish that up, and then whenever I order something new, I just put, if it's in a bag, I'll put it in that same tin.
Yeah, totally. I get that.
Was it
And
expensive on Etsy?
it was like 20 something dollars, and I really wanted something authentic because my mom is
Yeah.
always like, you have to get the authentic stuff or else it's not real or whatever. And like good quality stuff. So I got one, and it's made by some guy in Japan.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And then I'm assuming you also have like your own bowl and like whisk holder and everything.
Yes. So that's also something I would be excited to pick up in Japan to get like authentic ones, but I'm gonna be real. I just have the set from Amazon.
I love it. You'll have to send me a picture.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I guess, in your opinion, as someone who has had a lot of matcha, do you think that ceremonial matcha is different from what's typically found in cafes here in the US?
I think it depends. I think there are definitely cafes who do strictly use ceremonial matcha, which is really great. But I also think like the Starbucks and the Dutch Bros, like that's obviously probably not ceremonial and a little bit less quality.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think you just have to like do research if you want to find a cafe that is strictly ceremonial.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned Starbucks. Starbucks has actually had matcha on their menu for years. Like
Yeah,
I want to
I
say like
used to get
20.
it.
Yeah, me too. Wait, I want to look it up.
I used to get it, and then I found out there was hella sugar in it, and I was like, okay, well, that number one, that's why it tasted good, but number two, probably not good for health.
100% girl. I realized the same thing. So, Starbucks has had matcha on its menu since 2006.
Wow. Okay, OGs.
Yeah, oh geez, but you're right. They packed that shit full of sugar. And
Yeah,
that,
so even if you like order, like if you try to get a sugar-free drink, you can't with matcha because there's already sugar like in the blend or something like that.
yep, that's how it used to be. I've been like on them, like just not in like an aggressive way, but like, basically every time I go, I like ask about the matcha. And
Uh-huh.
this year, I think, or
Oh,
within the last year or so, they changed their formula so that the sweetness and the matcha tea itself is separate.
that is so
Yep.
good. What the heck?
It's
Okay,
so
good
good.
to
But
know.
the thing is, you have to be very careful when you order because if you say, "Hey, can I have an iced matcha latte?"
Hmm.
In their recipe, they have to put 3 pumps of classic syrup. So what you have to say is, "Can I have a matcha latte, no classic? No classic syrup, no
For
sugar."
like completely sugar-free.
Yeah, cuz their default is
Damn,
to put the sugar in it.
that's crazy.
I know. But yeah, if I had to have any sweetener, like I do like a little bit of honey, but that's on occasion.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you talked about, certain cafes, like you have to do your research to see if that one has good quality matcha. So my next section is about cafes specifically. Okay, section 3, the modern matcha craze. Are you ready for trivia question 3?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, Kyla, you're 1 for 2, so hopefully you can get this one right. Okay, trivia question 3. According to Yelp, what is the top rated matcha cafe in San Francisco? A. Kiss of Matcha. B. Matcha Cafe Maiko. C.
Ooh.
Oshi Matcha. Or D. Maruwu Seicha. And for each of these cafes, I have their location, so if it's helpful, I can say where they're located.
So A is my personal favorite one, but I
Ooh,
feel like B is more poppin' because I feel like they have multiple locations.
they totally do.
So okay, I'm gonna say B, but I'm scared because I know A is poppin'.
Dude, A is totally poppin'. B is really, really good. But the answer was D.
Okay, I haven't heard of the other two, so I'm
I haven't
curious.
I haven't either. Like I just looked it up on
What?
Yelp and all of these were on the list.
Wow.
Maruwu Seicha in Japantown was
We
the
need to go.
top rated. And that makes sense. It's in Japantown.
Wow. Okay.
I know, right? We need to go. But Kyla, can you tell me a little bit more about Kiss of Matcha, your favorite one?
Yes. Okay, that one is so good. I I've only had their strawberry matcha latte because it's so good. I just get that one every time. But they
Love
have a large menu, and I think you can get ice cream and like sundaes and stuff.
the
So
soft
I
serve.
Yes, I really love that one. And I think they have two locations as well. What else do I know about it? I think that's it.
Well, cool. I am familiar with it because the one that I'm familiar with, I guess, was in the inner Richmond, which was 2 blocks from my
Yes.
last apartment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
That is dangerous.
there was always a super duper long line, and it honestly, I didn't get it that much because number one, the line, and then number two, their hours of operation were so weird.
Really?
Like they didn't open until like 10 or 11 a.m.
Oh,
And
I
I'm
don't like
like,
that.
girl, like this is a morning time drink.
Yeah. I think I got it on the weekend.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, queso matcha is so
Interesting.
good. And then Matcha Cafe Maiko, the one I know is in Stonestown Mall.
Love that one. I think they have one in Japantown too,
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
they probably do because I know they have multiple locations, and I think I could be wrong, but I think they also have one in Waikiki. Um,
Yes.
so good. I could be wrong, but I kind of have a vague memory of that.
I think
Uh,
they have a bunch of locations, like some in the like I think San Jose area too.
mhm.
Like I think they're like really expanding.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you know what? Matcha place I didn't like that's like super popular in SF, and maybe I just went on a bad day
Mm-hmm.
because this place, like I feel like everyone talks about it.
Oh my God, tell me. Spell.
Stone Mill Matcha.
I think I've heard of that.
I feel like it's like one of the top ones,
Yeah.
and when I went, it was so bitter.
Ugh, that means it was
And
not ceremonial grade.
but I think they do use it, so I was very confused. But I also got the strawberry matcha, and I feel like it was like really sour as well, like the actual strawberry. So I don't
Hmm.
know. Whatever they gave me, I was not liking it, but that was also a few years ago. So
Hmm.
maybe it's different now, but this place gets like high
I know.
ratings.
I see. They have like 4.5 stars on Google.
Yeah. And they have food too, which I wish I tried the food, but
Yeah.
yeah. Let's go to that,
Yeah,
the one you said first.
let's go to Maruwu Seicha, which is in Japantown, and I was there the other day because I was looking for a goddamn tin for my matcha. I went all the way to freaking Japantown. I didn't walk away with anything, obviously, but the line for Maru
Man.
Seicha was so long, and everyone was carrying around their
Wait,
little.
can I like look it up? Let me see.
Yeah, look it up.
Seicha?
Maruwu Seicha.
Maru Woo. Okay.
Maruwu
Thank
space
you.
Seicha.
Okay, let me see what's going on here. Okay, it's looking familiar.
Yes, on Yelp it has 4.3 stars and 494 reviews, and this is recorded in May 2025.
Ooh, yeah, we need to go here.
Yeah, we totally need to go here. Oh my God, wait. My Yelp Elite manager left a review for this place.
What did they say? I'm dead.
Dominic said, first time trying this matcha spot in Japantown can be very popular with long lines, so I recommend coming during off hours. 2 lines when you
Ooh,
enter. Left line for self-order kiosk, right line for ordering with a staff member. Mango matcha is aesthetically pleasing, and the mango at the bottom is sweet and tasty. Be sure to stir
yes.
before drinking. Flavors were well balanced with the matcha flavor coming out well, but not overpowering. Matcha was a bit grainy though, but not too bad.
Ooh,
And then he included a picture. But I love
I love
Dominic. He's
that.
so funny. Um,
Oh yeah, we gotta
cool.
go here because they
Dude,
have.
we gotta
Looks like they
go.
have like egg tarts. Is that what it
Oh my
or
God,
custard
yum.
tarts?
Custard
That looks so
tarts.
good.
Okay, they also have dirty matcha. This is something I wanted to talk about. I think that's
What is that?
disgusting. When
Dirty matcha? Oh,
when
like
matcha
coffee?
yeah, when matcha meets espresso. Ew.
Mm, I don't like that.
No, these are very different things. It's like brown and green.
That's what it's called. Okay, interesting. Oh, you
Ew.
know what? I remember this when we were talking about Starbucks. I used to get, I forgot what the exact drink was, but it was matcha and chai. And that, it was fire, low key. But maybe it was when it was like super sweet, so maybe I was just liking the
Yeah.
sweet.
I feel like that could work because like they're both teas.
Yeah,
They
and
both,
like the cinnamony.
yeah, they both come from leaves. They're both like inherently Asian-based flavors.
Yeah.
I would be interested to try that for sure.
Yes. Maybe
Yeah.
not at Starbucks, but
Yeah, no, not Starbucks. Starbucks has its highs and lows. But yeah. Okay, can I tell you a little bit more about the modern matcha craze? Because
yes.
it's matcha mayhem out there.
I would love to know.
Yeah, so the rise of matcha in cafes can be traced back to around 2015, with Starbucks as an exception. They started in 2006. But basically 2015 onwards, matcha lattes became a major Instagram trend. And like we said, this totally tracks for me and Kyla because I remember in high school around 2015, a new place called Boba Guys opened, and they had the absolutely the best strawberry matcha pearl milk tea. So fucking good. And they still have it to this day. You can check out Boba Guys in Palo Alto, in Burlingame, in San Francisco. I don't know. Do they have it in the East Bay, Kyla?
They do. They have one in San Ramon.
Oh my God, amazing. Um, yeah, so influencers and wellness bloggers like Kourtney Kardashian and health conscious celebrities helped boost matcha's image as a quote unquote superfood, which I buy into this because I was recently exposed to black mold and I got really sick.
Oh no.
Yeah, and basically to kind of revive myself and detox my body, I drank exclusively matcha instead of coffee because it was supposed to help me detox. And I feel all better, and maybe that's because I'm not being exposed to black mold anymore, but I'd like to think the matcha had a little bit something to do with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I know, right? So cafes like Cha Cha Matcha in New York City and Alfred Coffee in Los Angeles.
Oh,
I don't
I've tried.
Have you
I've
heard of
tried
it?
their lattes, yeah.
Okay.
Not their matcha, but
Oh,
their like coffees.
okay. Well, I've never heard of that, but apparently those two places, Cha Cha Matcha, I love that name, Cha Cha Matcha, and and Alfred Coffee, played a huge role in popularizing the matcha. And
Oh
then,
wow.
yeah, apparently so. And then grocery chains like, of course, Whole Foods began to stock
Yeah.
matcha powder, like in those big bags, making it easier to enjoy at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those are the big bags at like Whole Foods. Are they ceremonial or it depends?
I don't know. If I had to guess, probably not.
That's what I was thinking.
Like, I mean, wait, now that Whole Foods is owned by Amazon and I get my ceremonial matcha from Amazon, so maybe?
So it could maybe like some are and some aren't. So you have to
Yeah,
like
I don't
read up on
know.
it.
But where do you get your matcha for home, Kyla?
I usually order it online. So I've done this site called Matchaful. They have like two different blends that I've tried. And then I've recently tried or ordered Rocky's matcha, and that is the matcha they use at Community Goods, which is a super popular cafe in LA. I think the Biebers go there. So that's why I feel like a lot of people who come to LA are like, I want to try Community Goods because the Biebers go here. They
Did
probably
you,
don't go there now, but
girl, oh my God, anything that Hailey Bieber does, like people hop on that. Like
exactly.
the Erewhon smoothie.
Okay, but why did I love that smoothie?
I know, I got it too and it was pretty good.
It was so good. I was like, wait, this is bomb. And we got another flavor and I didn't like that one at all. So I was like, oh, so this one's really good.
I guess Hailey has a good taste profile. Not so sure about her makeup brand, but taste profile, okay.
I just ordered, well, this is like a tangent, but I just ordered one of her blushes. So I will see. I'll let you know if I like
Oh my
those.
God, please make a review video and we'll repost it.
Yes.
Um, so in your opinion, Kyla, do you think matcha's popularity is here to stay or is it just a wellness trend?
I definitely think it's here to stay. I feel like there are so many cafes and shops that currently have it, and I feel like all the ones that are opening up, they already know to add matcha to the menu, like just as much as like coffee, like lattes and stuff. There's
Mhm.
also going to be matcha options, so I think it's here to stay.
Girl, I agree. One of the trivia questions I was kind of playing with, but I decided not to include, was like, what percentage of cafes in California have matcha on the menu? And I
Oh,
couldn't find like a definite statistic, which is why I didn't include it. But the answer I kept seeing was 60%.
yeah,
So it's
I
very
believe that.
popular. Like they just know, include the matcha. People love the matcha. I know that you make matcha at home. You've seen a lot of matcha drinks from different places. We've talked about mango, strawberry, honey, vanilla. What do you think is the craziest matcha drink that you've ever seen or tried?
Okay, I haven't personally tried anything crazy, but I saw this crazy one on my feed this week and I was like, what is this? But also I want to try it. It was a Dubai chocolate matcha, which I'm low-key having like Dubai chocolate fatigue because why is it like now all of a sudden everywhere? I thought we were kind of getting over that, but now I'm seeing like Trader Joe's and Whole Foods are coming out with their own like bars. But anyways, it was like pistachio milk base, the matcha, and then chocolate cold foam, and then cocoa powder, and then the crunchy, I think it's called kanafe on top.
Oh my God, my mom is screaming right now. She's like, she's probably so offended listening to all that. Like,
She's like, what is happening? It
that
was
is
like, it was extra for sure.
probably you can't even taste the matcha at that point. Seriously. Also,
It's probably all like, yeah, just chocolate and pistachio at that point.
and what the hell is Dubai chocolate? Like Dubai the place?
Yeah, you've never heard of it?
No, I've never heard of this
Oh my
ever.
goodness. Okay, it's well, maybe it's because I'm on like foodie talk, but it's like this chocolate bar that you could only get in Dubai, and it's like just regular chocolate, like on the, like a bar, and then inside is kanafe, and then pistachio cream, and
Okay.
then yeah, it's like filled with that, and apparently it's really really good.
Okay.
So ever since that happened, I feel like plate a bunch of different places have tried to recreate it. So I know
Oh.
like this local like chocolate shop in the East Bay recreated their own, and so I tried that. And personally, maybe it was like theirs that I didn't like, but it's not that I didn't like it, but I thought it was overhyped. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
that great, but I feel like everybody on TikTok was like saying it was this most like the most amazing thing ever.
Hmm. Okay. Sorry if I'm like not aware, but for hopefully other people also don't know, but all questions are good questions. What is kanafe?
Okay, it's like this. Let me see if I can like I want to know what else it's in. It's like crunchy. Let me see.
Kanafe sounds like a sort of weed strain to me.
Oh, I think I said something super wrong. Hold on.
Oh
It's
my God, let me look it up.
please. It's kataifi. So
Girl.
it's thin shredded phyllo dough.
Oh. Okay.
Kataifi.
Oh,
Then
okay.
kanafa, because when I looked up kanafa, it said like cheese.
Like,
I was like, it's not cheese.
yeah, like
So
baklava.
yes, yeah. So it's like that.
Okay, now I understand. Kataifi.
Kataifi.
Oh, and then kanafe is similar.
But
It's
it's
it's the
cheese?
kataifi with cheese inside.
Yeah, so it's not kanafe, it's kataifi. Okay, yeah.
Kataifi. Okay, good
Yes,
to
yes,
know.
yes.
Oh, I'm seeing a video. This chocolate looks really good.
Of the Dubai.
Yeah, okay, we need to try that.
Maybe I'll try the crazy Dubai chocolate matcha
Yeah,
and see
you
what
should.
happens.
You should. That seems very interesting. I would love to hear your review. Please get back to us.
Yes. I also really want to try a black sesame matcha, but I
Ooh,
haven't seen one around me, so maybe I need to venture out to SF to find one of those.
yeah. Or maybe you could make it yourself.
That too. I don't know if I could. I feel like it might be complicated, but
So,
maybe I
yeah,
could.
totally. Last question here to sort of wrap up the conversation of this specific section about cafes. What is your go-to cafe?
Oh, yes. So, as I mentioned earlier, Kiss of Matcha is my favorite one.
Yes.
I think it's so worth like making the trek over. So, yeah, that's my top choice.
Yeah. The trek from the East Bay to San Francisco.
Yes.
Yeah. How long does that take you, by the way?
Well, I usually take BART, so it usually takes like an hour and a half,
Dude, at that
which is
point, you have to get
crazy.
like three matchas. One for there, one for
Home.
the way back, and then the last one you hold on until you get home. You can drink it.
I wanted to get a tin there because I forgot which one they had, but it looked good. But they were sold out. So I was like, dang, that would have been so worth it if I like went
Yeah.
there, got my drink, and then took like one or two tins
Yeah.
home.
Oh my gosh. Well, if you ever need more tins, I actually did find a place. It's like a restaurant supply place on Clement,
Oh, okay.
and they have a bunch of tins. And I was like, God damn it. Why didn't I know this before I ordered one on Etsy? But that's okay.
Okay, good. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah. Okay, so let's wrap up the conversation here. What was your favorite thing that you learned during this chat, Kyla?
I think my favorite thing was trivia question two.
Okay, so that one was about the year
Yes.
Uji. Yes, matcha cultivation in Uji, 1586 AD.
Or 16th century.
Or 16th century. It's so annoying how
Yes.
those are labeled.
I know, right?
Yeah, I hope you remember that answer. Maybe this talking about it will help us, cement it in our brain. That's one of the reasons why I like this podcast, is because I feel like I learn the best like listening or talking about it. So I'm trying to remember all these things for some
Yes.
imaginary trivia event that happens in the
Future
future.
trivia night. Or like Jeopardy oh my God, you'd be so good on Jeopardy.
Dude, my brother's training for Jeopardy.
Really? That
Yes.
is so cool. Oh
Yes,
my
there's
God.
and there's like a whole test you have to take before you audition.
I feel like I would be so bad.
Yeah, it
I would
seems
not
hard.
pass.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being on the pod. I hope you had fun. If you
Yes, I
were
did.
good, if you were to be a guest again, like, what do you think you'd want to be quizzed on?
Ooh, okay. So I love like skincare, beauty, makeup, and then I also love pop culture. So maybe we could do like a segment on celeb beauty brands.
Like Rhode, Rem, Rare,
Fenty,
Fenty.
yes, all
What?
of those.
I love that. Why do they all start with R? That's so
And then
funny.
all of the ones that like we don't know are celebrity owned, like
Yeah, Anastasia
Florence by
Beverly.
Mills. Oh, wait, what?
Anastasia Beverly Hills?
Is celebrity owned?
I mean, I guess Anastasia is now a celebrity.
I didn't know who that was. I'm so dead.
Makeup by Mario.
Yes.
They're basically all celebs at this point.
But there's a lot, like, I think Scarlett Johansson has a skincare brand, which I'm like, that's super random. So yeah, I would love to talk about that and like even the celebrities who I feel like are just doing it as a cash grab. Like, let's
Yes.
talk about that tea.
Oh my god, I love that. I'm gonna make a note of that. Hold on. So I know, Kyla, you have a TikTok channel, a food Instagram. Is there anything that you'd like to promote on the podcast? Anything coming up for you that like we can tag below that you want people to know about?
I don't have anything in particular, but just follow me on all of my socials. It's Kyla is Hungry on TikTok and Instagram, and then on YouTube, it's Kyla Sarmiento.
Okay, amazing. And we'll put those in the description below, so it's an easy just click follow. Um,
Yay!
and yeah, thank you so much for being on the podcast today.
Thank you for having me. I had so much fun.
Thank you for listening to the show. This is Trivia Tangents, where we cover various trivia topics. We have new episodes released every Thursday, which I like to call Trivia Thursday. I'm Lena, and special thanks to our guest Kyla for sharing her awesome insights and trivia tangents about matcha with us. Make sure to keep an eye out for next week's episode about archery with my very talented friend Elizabeth, who specializes in foot archery.
That's so cool.
Thanks for listening.
And learning.
Bye!
Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode, please give us a 5-star rating or thumbs up, follow or subscribe, and share with a friend. For bonus content, you can find Trivia Tangents on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and of course, all podcast platforms under Trivia Tangents Podcast. Check out our website at triviatangentspodcast.com to purchase trivia starter packs based on these episodes. Perfect for hosting your very own trivia night.